This morning, rap mogul Jay-Z is denying allegations he sexually assaulted a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Sean Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay-Z. The accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, says she was sexually assaulted by both men at a Video Music Awards after-party in 2000. In a blistering statement, Jay-Z accuses Jane Doe's attorney of trying to blackmail him. He said further, quote, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree?" He added, "My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people." Joining us now, Joey Jackson, senior legal analyst and criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor. There's a lot to unpack here. Joey, I want to start with just the statement from Jay-Z, which is so forceful in its denial. I just read a teeny part of it, it's long, where he says that they should file a criminal complaint. Is that even possible at this point?
So based on the allegations, Jessica, good morning, good to see you. I think that it certainly could be. Why do I say that? Now, he, of course, is more than annoyed, would be an understatement.
Yeah.
He has a family and he has a lot to protect, including his brand. But to the extent that he's saying, hey, come after me criminally, that could be likely. Why do I say that? Because rape in New York, and what's alleged in this complaint, is forcible compulsion. What that means in English is that it's saying that he held her down, raped her, and that, of course, the allegation is that Mr. Combs did the same thing. And so if those facts are actually accurate, it would require an investigation by prosecutors. And if true, right, you could pursue it criminally. Now, with respect to evidentiary value, yes, it happened 24 years ago, right? More than 24 years ago. But in the allegations, there's a few things. Number one, there's allegation that another celebrity was present at the time, right, in addition to other people. Number two, there's the claim by the victim, right, that she left, that she went and she was seen by a gas attendant who saw her in distress. Number three, that she phone called her dad, who showed up, the 13-year-old, and now removed her. So civil complaint, simply allegations, needs to be proven in a court of law, but if true, it could rise to the level of criminality. And
recently, there's been a whirlwind of media attention surrounding Blue Ivy and Jay-Z following the bombshell news of a lawsuit that has sent shockwaves through their close-knit family. If you've been following the couple for a while, you know that they face their fair share of public scrutiny. But this time things are different. The lawsuit, which involves allegations against Jay-Z, has caused a ripple effect that has left BCE and Blue Ivy in a state of devastation. And it's not just about the legal drama. It's about the toll this has taken on their family.
and investigates.
So what happens now?
So what happens now is this is simply a civil complaint. And in a civil complaint, it goes through the technical legal process. Now, the distinction, Jessica, between civil and criminal, of course, is that civil is for monetary damages, right? The system can only reward you with money. There's allegations that this 13-year-old is suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, suffered depression, etc. So now you go to fact-finding, right? Before that, just briefly, there was a demand letter sent. And a demand letter is a letter being sent by a lawyer saying, hey, I don't have to sue you. We can sit, we can mediate it. If we reach an agreement, it never sees the light of day. Jay-Z saying, I don't care about your demand letter. I look at it as blackmail. You want to sue me, sue me. You want to look at it criminally, look at it criminally, but it'll go through the fact-finding process. If a trial is necessary to determine the facts, that's what will happen, but it'll be deemed civil. No indication at this point as to whether or not any criminal investigation will ensue as a result of this.
Yeah, and Jay-Z came back incredibly forcefully against these allegations and really singled out that attorney as well for being, I'm paraphrasing here, but greedy, saying he's out to get money and calling that letter essentially blackmail.
Yeah, and in addition to that, Jessica, also suing the attorney, saying he's intimidating him, harassing him, etc. Now, demand letters are not new. What lawyers do is they send them out as a matter of protocol and practice so that you can expedite the process. At the same time, there's certain ethical standards that you have to use, and you have to have a good faith factual belief that this is true. Now, you you can argue this complaint was filed in October, right? Could have mentioned Jay-Z then. You didn't. Why? It was amended now to include him. Are the factual assertions true? Are they fact or fiction? Is it a money grab or not? All of that will be litigated in a court of law, but according to Jay-Z, this never happened, is pure fiction. It is a money grab, and he's fighting for his name, reputation, and certainly innocence and justice in his view, which is he didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, and you touch on a point too that I wanted to ask you about, which was that this was an amendment to this already existing lawsuit. What are people to take away from that? The fact that they're coming back and adding to this now with this specific name?
Yeah, Jessica, so it depends. That's also common. You could amend lawsuits, right, as a matter of course, and you do, to include certain factual allegations. The interesting thing to me in terms of your question and the takeaway, if you had this information about Jay-Z, it happened allegedly in September of 2000, why not include it in the original complaint? What happened between October and now that necessitated you putting in, and it's a question of credibility. Was he celebrity A, right, as was noted in the October complaint? Is this pure fiction? And what's interesting in the complaint is he really, that is the lawyer, tries to tie Jay-Z to Mr. Combs in so many ways, right? Birds of a feather is the argument that he's making. You can make that argument, you need the facts to sustain it. Let's see if they come up with any facts.
Yes, all right, we will see. All right, Joey Jackson, thanks so much.
Fully understand why Beyoncé and Blue Ivy are so broken by this lawsuit, we need to dive into the heart of the matter. Let's rewind a bit. Jay-Z, known for his business ventures, his empire building, and his larger-than-life persona, has often been seen as a pillar of strength for the family. He a father, a husband, and a businessman who's made a name for himself not only in music, but also in various industries from fashion to tech. His success has been well documented, but so have his controversies.
Just, again, you've been in the industry and you've seen it. I'm just curious, based on the way the trajectory of what's happening, just honestly, what do you feel is next? Are there other players that will get involved? What do you see coming next, just seeing how this is going right now?
Jay-Z indicted.
Wow.
I mean, there's no way that he can't, right? Jay-Z's business partners, 2 of them are in prison. Diddy, R. Kelly, and then you have Weinstein, 3. And then Jay-Z's been accused of all these things. Jay-Z's going down, and it's curious. I'm real curious to see what's going to happen with Beyonce in that situation.
Definitely. With that being said, Jonathan, again, you speaking your truth, man, it's powerful things, man. It's powerful things. Is there a message you'd like to get out there to either the media, the victims, to the victimizers? Is there any message that you would like to get out, just as far as just to close it out?
Yeah, I mean, nobody has disproven Jaguar right. And people feel real threatened by her because she can communicate so well. She can speak better than anybody I've ever heard. The way her inflections and her cadence and her speech, so she can really bring a point home. And I think that she's been one of the main components that have brought down Diddy. And now she's after Jay, who she's also been after. But I've joined forces with her, right? I'm a soldier for her cause. I believe in it because I've seen the same things. And it's getting worse when I'm seeing. And the more that I go in and down this path, the more people that are coming to me sharing their stories and sharing their truths. And it's uglier than I thought, because I never spoke out about these kind of things because it was just normal. It was just normal for me. It was normal business. It's you show up to a workplace, all these people are foul and corrupt, but then you clock out on your punch card and you go home and you don't have to deal with it. And then you go back in. But it is very traumatic. It is very toxic. And I'm glad to see it finally changing. And like I said, I've said this several times. I'd love for academics to really fact check and look into me and all the people that I'm connected to, starting with Drake and then starting and then going down to Jay-Z. And then people can see that what I'm saying is 100% the truth. And what Jaguar's saying is 100% the truth.
Now, what many people don't know is that Jay-Z's legal troubles have been brewing for a while. It all started when a former business partner who had been involved with Jay-Z in the past filed a lawsuit against him claiming that Jay-Z had misused funds and engaged in underhanded business practices. This lawsuit has quickly escalated with serious allegations being thrown around. The specifics of the case are complex, involving a mix of financial disputes and personal betrayal, which has raised eyebrows in the entertainment world.
I want to say congratulations on your success first and foremost.
Thank you.
It's rising, rising, and rising. You mentioned earlier that you felt like Jay was kind of meticulous. He was, he kind of thought things through and
Right.
his choices in the way that he moved. What are your thoughts on his marriage? Do you feel like that was love maybe? Or do you feel like that was maybe a meticulous move for his success in moving up in his world?
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
I don't know too much about the entertainment side. I just think that was the best match for the entertainment.
Any man?
Yeah, well, nah. It's quite a few more before her.
Quite a few more.
Yeah, it's a lot more before her. You know, skipped over Maya. Maya got away.
And I say that because, the internet, the internet gonna do the math.
Right.
And the math don't be mathing when it comes to that age.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I think that was he needed that.
$1 billion.
Huh?
I'm just saying when she talk about age is $1 billion.
Hers wasn't.
So I guess it was a good look for both of them.
The only person that could probably have this conversation with him is probably Beyonce.
And why you think by now she ain't say that? But Jay, who is this behaving? You understand what I'm saying?
Probably now.
You understand? She has to be like, who is this behaving? Because this shit he throwing up is facts.
Right.
You do know his family. I see it. You do know this. You do hold this. So how could all of this, I don't know what women's place be now.
Right.
But you can't hide this. I'm quite sure she went in the bathroom and looked at this shit and been like, man, the fuck?
Right.
You know how girls talk. Girls talk like that, right? You think?
For Beyonce, who has always been fiercely protective of her family, the news of this lawsuit has been nothing short of devastating. She's been through a lot in her career and personal life, but this feels different. In the past, Bey has managed to shield her loved ones from much of the public drama that surrounds their lives. But this time, she's not able to keep the storm at bay. The constant media frenzy, the court proceedings, and the constant scrutiny have taken an emotional toll on her.
B, you see this guy right here? Yeah. And he kind of handsome and cute too, look. You know what I'm saying? Shit, nah, man.
Yeah, I agree. Like as a good wife, you're going to want to know information, not only just to know it, but to protect. Right. At the end of the day, like when you marry, like your spouse is your first line of defense to advise and to whatever. So yeah, if it's like nothing has been said yet, that would be weird because it's
and be honest, a nigga shut you down and be like, stay out of nigga shit, stay off that street shit, just because you his wife.
Yeah, but they've been married for a long time, and this is big.
She said it like it's gonna nag her to death.
No, like it'd be different if like they wasn't married, or maybe they just fresh, or maybe he was still in that life.
Right,
but. Nah.
But this has been going on for years. So she been knowing. When she saw the YouTube, she probably was like, who this? When I was looking, then it really did look like I was just an angry, disjointed guy, whatever. Listen, and he brushed it off. But as this shit keep growing and shit keep getting more facts, and she steady like, wait a minute.
And if he's still on that, don't worry about it, that would make me concerned. Like,
exactly.
What?
Like,
nah. It gotta be something. If you telling me not to worry about it and you're not just telling me like, hey man, this is what it is. that leaves.
What's even harder to digest is the impact it's having on Blue Ivy, the young girl who's just beginning to blossom into her own identity in the public eye, now has to contend with this cloud of negativity that's hanging over her family. While Blue Ivy is only a child, she's old enough to understand that something isn't right. She's been raised in an environment where privacy and family loyalty are valued above all else, but now her family is thrust into a situation where their private matters are being aired out for the world to see. It's heartbreaking to think about how Blue Ivy must feel watching her parents, especially her mother, go through this kind of emotional strain.
Have we seen the last, or is this just the beginning of that saga?
It's just getting started.
True.
Which is why I think people are so uncomfortable about me being in this position right now, because of my press pass and because I'm going to be in the courtroom for the Keffe D trial. If we get to the bottom of Tupac's, when that is finally revealed, 15 other will be revealed with it. And you will find that they were all committed by the same two people, father and son.
Were you surprised by Keffe D's arrest for Tupac?
No. I'm just surprised that he hasn't given it up yet. I'm surprised that he hasn't gone to the feds yet, because he just got stabbed in jail.
Yes, he did.
He's been beaten 3 times. And I'm going to say it for a fact. I know you the one pulling the strings. Reggie Wright Jr. Stop putting your dirty work on other people. You know exactly what you are. And so help me God if you don't keep my name out your mouth.
With the last time you were on the couch, you had mentioned, and it's crazy that you say these things, you talk about Bad Boy, you speak on Heavy D, you speak on Albie Shore, and you say, like, look who's standing. And now Albie Shore is now, he's being cryptic, not too cryptic, but he's very cryptic. He's very cryptic, but
he's speaking louder than he's ever spoken before.
Ever.
And the reason why he's cryptic is for the sake of his son. Imagine having an enemy that has a position of influence in your child's life, and knowing that that person sends you notes and messages every now and then. If you don't do this, if you don't do that, that boy is allegedly. Imagine that. Imagine your baby mama is telling you that if you don't do what he wants you to do, he's going to child. And you know he's capable of it. Allegedly. Story in the Bible. 2 women had 2 babies. One woman went to sleep, rolled over on her baby. The other woman's baby was just...
Let's talk about fans' reaction to all of this. For years, she's been known as the strong, independent woman who's built her career on the foundation of empowerment and resilience. Her music has inspired millions, and her public persona has been one of grace, confidence, and control. But behind closed doors, it's clear that this legal battle has rocked her world in ways that no one could have anticipated. Ivy is not just dealing with the stress of her husband's legal issues, she's also trying to protect her daughter from the harsh realities of the public eye.
Got up, she went and stole the baby from her roommate. Then they fought over who the mother was. They went before the king, King Solomon. He heard both sides of the story and said, give me a knife. Give me a sword. He got the sword and he was like, I'm gonna cut the baby in half and each of you can have a piece and then we'll be done with it. It was the real mother that said, don't harm that baby, she can have him.
Wow.
Why is nobody willing to accept, as monstrous as people are finding out that Diddy is now, that he wouldn't be willing to split Quincy in half? Because he would.
Yeah, he said some years ago, like during a TV show, that he would like harm his own mother to get what he wanted, or something along those lines. So,
well, I don't blame him for wanting to harm that. She's his victimizer and his pimp. She is first pimp.
Oh. Okay. Your Bible story, I have to just sidetrack real quick and ask you this question, or get your thoughts on it. There's a man who recently married conjoined twins, and he's only marrying one of them while the other is attached by the hip, and they both share the same bottom parts. Is there anything that you feel wrong with that, freaky or indifferent?
I mean, question is, what's wrong with the bitches down with it?
It does raise questions.
Like, you forcing your sister to get raped so you can get off.
Well, the sister says she has to put on headphones to kind of zone out.
Yeah, but she's still feeling it.
Yeah, man. That is still happening.
You forcing your sister to get raped.
Yeah.
She don't want that you want that nigga. That's what I hear. As a selfish bitch.
So right.
She's over there with her headphones on.
Vee's dedication to her family has always been one of her most admirable qualities, and seeing her navigate this storm with such vulnerability is both heartbreaking and inspiring despite her immense success and the power she wields in the entertainment industry. She is, at the end of the day, just like any other mother trying to do the best for her child. This lawsuit has shaken her to her core, and the emotional toll is evident in everything she does.
We want to share with you some brand new developments we are learning in the Sean Diddy Combs investigations and civil lawsuits. We know this is an ongoing case against him, and now we are learning that one of the civil complaints that's been brought against Diddy has been amended. It's been amended. And so you may recall us talking about this case previously, and a case about a 13-year-old allegedly being raped by Diddy, allegedly being assaulted and raped by another male celebrity who was previously not identified. Now, that celebrity has been identified. He's been identified as fellow hip-hop mogul Jay-Z. His name has been revealed. The allegation is that he and Diddy raped a 13-year-old girl at an after party in the year 2000 after the MTV Video Music Awards. Now, Jay-Z is denying these allegations. In a statement he posted to his X account, he denies the allegations and questions why this was done civilly, why this civil lawsuit was filed demanding money, and why a criminal complaint has not been made. He writes, quote, "My lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir, it had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny." End quote. So that was what Jay-Z said publicly on his X account. In a statement to ABC News, that attorney, Mr. Busby, said, quote, "The pleading speaks for itself. This is a very serious matter that will be litigated in court." Now, this is the same lawsuit that was filed in October, accusing Diddy and accusing another celebrity of working in conjunction with Diddy to rape a 13-year-old not identified in the complaint, just named only as Jane Doe. And they also allege in this suit that another female celebrity was there the whole time watching this happen. So basically, we've heard these allegations about Diddy, and we were wondering who these two other celebrities are. In the first suit, they were just named as Celebrity A, a male celebrity, and Celebrity B, a female. Female just said
As for Blue Ivy, her role in all of this is perhaps the most difficult to grasp. She's just a child after all, but she's already been thrust into the spotlight from a young age. As the daughter of two of the most famous people on the planet, Blue Ivy has always been subject to public attention, but she's never had to deal with something as serious as this.